Welcome, wanderers, to a city unlike any other, nestled in the heart of Italy where waterways serves as streets and history whispers through every cobblestone alleyway. Today we embark on a journey through the enchanted maze of Venice, a place where Romance meet Renaissance and every corner holds a tale of its own, from the grandeur of St. Mark's Square to the hidden gems tucked away. So grab your map and your sense of adventure as we dive into the magic of Venice. Good morning from Venice. Welcome to this Venice vlog. If you found this vlog, you're in for a treat. Got into Venice last night from Florence, technically from Tuscany, but we had a rental car that we needed to return in Florence. So we dropped our car off, jumped on the train from Florence to Venice, and woke up this morning feeling a little bit more refreshed and ready to head out. We have a gondola ride today in Venice. We also have like a really amazing Michelin Star Restaurant dinner scheduled for tonight. So we're heading out to explore Venice, see what it has to offer, and I will share everything about this Venice vlog with you. So let's go on out for a gondola ride.
These alleyways are so small. We're trying to get to the other side.
You just passed with like a producer over there.
Yeah.
I think he's taking it to a restaurant.
Yeah, I hope it's fish. I've had enough beef. Right?
Yep.
All beefed out.
Let's go so we don't run late for our gondola. We're going in this one, yeah? That's it. Inside? That's it. So we started out early. We did book a morning ride, which is about 9:30 a.m. I highly recommend a morning ride. You get it out the way. The sun isn't as harsh. We did visit the first week of September and it was still very hot. We just got on our gondola ride and we are heading out of the dock. This ride is 30 minutes. There's some other rides that you can book for longer, an hour, 2 hours or so. But I was kind of like, these rides are pretty pricey and I know it's a very tourist thing to do. And I don't always count pennies on experiences, but I was like, okay, let's do a 30-minute, and if it's ever great and amazing and awesome and we're back in Venice, then of course we'll do an hour. So we just started the ride. I'll let you guys know how it is at the end of the ride. The one thing I can say about the rides is how peaceful it is, and I cannot reiterate enough how in the morning it's such a beautiful ride. It's so relaxing. You can literally hear everything going on around you, but in the most common way. Throughout the day it does get busy and get a little bit more hectic, so definitely do a morning ride. I think another thing to note is that your gondola ride is gonna be a different experience than everyone else's. I did a lot of research before we went and people had mixed reviews about the rides, and honestly ours was fine, or a guide wasn't too friendly or anything, but it was okay because then we got to take in the scenery. So we just finished our gondola ride. It was a 30-minute ride, and honestly you don't need more than 30 minutes. Like, that's good enough for the ride. Our driver, do you call him driver? Okay, the owner of the gondola ride wasn't too friendly.
Grazie.
Grazie. He wasn't too friendly. I think he just wanted us to just sit our butts down and just go around on this 30-minute ride. So we just took some photos, some beautiful scenery of the Venice canals and just how they move about on the water taxis, which is really cool. So right now we are heading to breakfast because it's like 10 a.m. So let's go have breakfast. So it's still a beautiful scenery and it's still not as crowded around 10 a.m. in Venice. And our apartment host was kind enough to recommend lots of like local places where the food is actually really good. So we're heading to one now. Breakfast at this place called Rosa for the folks that own the apartment that we're staying in. Recommended a few places for us to eat and go that are not like tourist focused, that holds the tradition of like breakfast time and lunchtime and dinner time, and that is local and good. So she gave us a list of places and we stopped at this one called Rosa. I'm having a cappuccino. I am also having a kind of like an egg and fish and veggie sandwich and a croissant because I'm so hungry, and some water. So I will also list all the places that she shared with me that are great for local experience. And so we're in here now and we did spot quite a few local. You could tell some tourists too. Oh, and on the topic of tourists, oh my gosh. So we were walking back from the Gondola Ride and heading to breakfast. And oddly, this older, elderly, like really elderly woman came up to us. Like it was a crowded space, and she came up to us and she started like shouting in Italian. We couldn't quite tell what she was saying, but we picked up the tourist word. I took Duolingo for a month and clearly it didn't come in handy. But she was shouting at us, like directly at us among all the people in the streets. And she was kind of like angry. She was nicely dressed, looking really polished. And she started shouting at us from the crowd. So I turned around and I'm trying to make out words that she's saying, but it seemed like she was saying like there's too much tourists, maybe she couldn't walk. I am just making that up for her. But it just makes me think, like, for someone who was born and raised in a country that has heavy tourists coming through. I was also a tour guide while I was living in Jamaica for 2.5 years. To be that age and not understand that in certain cities, if you live in a city, I live in LA, there's lots of tourists in certain areas sometimes. To be that age and be angry in that capacity just tells a lot about just how we carry our souls through the world and the things we do and how those things affect us. Because at that age, anger about tourists being in an area and I don't know, whatever the two said. If you've been to Venice and you've had any of this type of experience, I don't want to take it into like a black person experience because it didn't quite feel like a racial experience. It was more like social, like it's too many of you, get out of the street. But I'm like, why pick me out to yell at? And I was raised by my grandma and wouldn't yell back at her unless she touched me. Then I would be in Italian jail. So, but anyway, we're enjoying our cappuccino, and then after that, we're gonna kind of like walk around, do a little bit of shopping, maybe try to get some gifts for friends and family. We haven't gotten anything, and just head about a little bit more in Venice. So we just noticed that this is a house. This is an actual house. Someone actually lives in there. There are two people sitting off to the side here. I don't want to clearly go up to them and videotape them. But it's inside a proper house, like right on the dock. And that is so cool. So I think these are a lot of like people living in these ones right here, which is pretty cool. So we are heading to San Marco Square and also a tower that we can see a full 360 view of Venice from. St. Mark's Squares is one of the most visited sites in Venice. Every year, millions of tourists flock to admire the Basilica and its surrounding areas. We decided to go up the bell tower to get a 360 panoramic view of Venice in its entirety. We didn't have pre-booked tickets and it took us about 10 minutes to buy our tickets and to go up. It's usually recommended, especially in high tourist times, to book your tickets ahead of time so that you can skip the line. Venice is also known as the City of Canals, the Floating City, and Serenissima. It is arguably one of Italy's most picturesque cities. Winding canals, striking architecture, and beautiful bridges. There are 417 bridges in Venice. 72 of those are actually private. Venice is sinking at the rate of 1 to 2 millimeters a year. The population of Venice has decreased from 120,000 to 60,000 in the last 50 years. So we were up there, and that was where we got to see all of this from an aerial view, which was pretty neat. Just spectacular view of Venice, and we see how the town is connected by the canals and just how clustered it is, really. So that was fun. Okay, just naming this here. This is St. Mark's Basilica. This is a St. Mark's Basilica. Such a gaudy building. It's massive. It's just really big. And then there's an entrance off the water at the end of this walkway that has these two huge columns. I think one has a horse and one has a gentleman. Let me see if I can find it. And off the water, entering the city. I got these cute aprons matching for my daughter and myself, and a couple little gifts from this cute little store for friends and family to bring back home. Came for lunch at Antica Osteria Luga Rialto, and so this was also recommended by our apartment owner, and it's a local spot, and it's literally just right off the corner of like the touristy area down there. And you come up this alleyway and voila, you're in this little corner of like locals. And the menu, which I'll pop on the screen, has a lot of options. Not a ton, but decent options, and mostly fish. So Lincoln and I are excited about getting some fish because we haven't had much fish, and Venice is good for fish. So we ordered I got a Sauvignon Blanc and Lincoln got a Pinot Grigio. And so we are gonna have lunch. Shall we cheers? Cheers! So I just tried the bread. So I just tried the bread here in Venice, which I remembered when we were in Tuscany. They did say that the bread in Tuscany isn't made with salt, and so we got like a bread basket at our restaurant here, and I was like, okay, let me try the bread, right? And this bread definitely has salt, but it's really good. Again, I think I said this before. I grew up in Jamaica, and we grew up eating what we call hardo bread, and it tastes so much like hardo bread, a little bit harder. It tastes like the hardo bread that I grew up eating in Jamaica. But it's so fresh and just flavorful. You can tell it has salt because I can completely taste the difference now with the Tuscan bread and this bread. But it's still really so good, and I can just eat it by itself. So I'm enjoying bread in Italy. And this is a glass of Sauvignon Blanc. Okay, you have to taste it and tell me how it is. Is it salty? Is it soft?
Soft, not very salty, lemony.
Oh, lemony. I like lemony. Oh, because you sprinkled lemon over it, right? Okay, I'm gonna try my clams and mussels. Well, clams, pasta dish, and see how it is. I think I'm gonna take out my clams.
Yeah, what?
Just get them out the plate so I can.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna take that.
How is it? Worth it?
So flavorful.
Best yet?
It's
Best since you've been in Italy?
You just want to know if it's best because it has butter, because it has fish. Let me taste your fish. Oh my gosh, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It does taste like a branzino.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna separate my clams and stuff so I can just go through and eat. But this is great. That's excellent. We gotta come back and get lunch tomorrow before we go. So Lincoln ordered an Apparal Spritz. Well, in Venice, it's not called an Apparal Spritz. It's somewhere in the middle of it's not too sweet and it's not too sour, but they call it a Selecta. Is it? What did they call it?
Select.
It's almost like it's a Selecta. Selecta.
Select.
Selecta. Yeah, the waiter was helping us pronounce it. He thought it was funny.
Campari and in between an Apparal.
So it's in between a Campari and in between an Apparal. So that's what their Apparal quote-unquote Spritz is in Venice. So Lincoln ordered it. I'm going to try it for him first.
Select.
I'm going to try it.
Select.
What do they call it?
Select.
Okay. I just tasted it and... okay.
Don't lie.
I won't. Shut up. I won't lie. Like, it's annoying. It has like a grapefruit base taste. You know how the Apparal Spritz and stuff has like a. You know how the Apparal Spritz usually has like a. It does have like a bitter taste, but sweet. This one, okay, think about like an orange and a grapefruit. So the Apparal Spritz gives you orange, and then this Selecta. Selecta.
No, ease up off the Select.
Selecta.
There you go.
I bet you that's not what he said.
Select.
But this is giving you that grapefruit base, which is actually really, really good. I love grapefruit. I usually eat grapefruit with a little honey on there. So this is really, it's still really, really good. It's just different from the Apparal that you're used to. After lunch, we did a little bit of luxury shopping. There's an area where all the luxury stores are. Literally all the big luxury stores are there. So we went shopping for a little bit, then made our way back to our apartment to rest and relax before we head out for dinner. Ready? So I'm all dressed and ready for dinner at a restaurant called Wisteria in Venice. It's a Michelin star restaurant. I can't remember how many stars it has, but we had to make reservations in advance. They're super strict on the dress code to be smart and pretty much just be fabulous. So we are heading out for dinner right now. It's a 15-minute walk from our hotel. Again, just because we're in Venice, you don't like just jump on a cab. So we're gonna head out for dinner. I hope it's gonna be worth it, and I hope it's gonna be amazing. I think it will be, and I will share, if I can, as much with you guys. So let's go to dinner. Whenever we travel, we do like to book a reservation at a Michelin star restaurant if one is available nearby. And Wisteria did not disappoint. They do have a few rules, and the rules is to be a little bit dressed up. Honestly, I did see a lot of people that were casual-ish. That was a little bit disappointing. And no phones. I did steal these shots. Every time the waiter was heading our way, I literally hid my phone so as to not be disrespectful. 1 or 2 times they caught me, and I had to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. So these are some of the wine pairings that I've been having. All of the wines, no, all except one has been from Italy. So I'm still halfway through my wines. Okay, I thought we were done, but another dessert came out. I'm gonna start with the chocolate, and we're gonna go into the quail egg, and then we're gonna go to the cherry with the Rivian leaf. Dinner at Wisteria. It's a Michelin star restaurant. It's newly Michelin star. They just got their star this year in 2023. So we had a great experience. The dinner was yummy. It was really delicious. It was excellent, except there's one, it was, how many courses? 8 courses? 8 courses.
And they gave us an extra.
And they gave us an extra. It was a 5 course and an 8 course, right? There's a 5 course, 8 course with wine pairings, and we did the 8 course. And of course, it's like bite-sized food, but a lot of it, like 8 courses of it, is a lot. So We enjoyed everything except for the
horse.
The horse. There was like a aged horse on the menu, and that's just because we're not like big meat eaters, like red meat eaters. So we took one bite of the horse, but everything else was really, really good. It's like all the flavors bursting from the menu was just delicious. You're ready to go to sleep. It's like midnight now. This is our last night in Venice. Tomorrow we check out and we head to Lake Como. So make sure you subscribe to check out the Lake Como vlog once we post that one. So arrivederci from Venice. Hope you enjoy. Bye. Grazie. And so on our last morning in Venice, it was a Sunday morning, and we found it to not be as crowded as the weekdays. I don't know if it got crowded later because we did leave for noon. So we're on the hunt for breakfast and spotted a cute small little cafe that sold little tapas and coffee. And we sit back, relax, enjoyed our coffee before we headed back on the boat to head to our next destination. By Venezia. Is that how you say it? So,
Venezia.
Venezia. Bye. Okay, so just a little note to get on the water taxi. We did come in on a private water taxi because we wanted to experience it, but they do have like your regular boats that is super easy to access. So wherever your hotel is or your apartment, there might be a dock close by. This is the dock that's closest to ours. Our hotel is literally like one over right there. So what we do, we come right here and wait for the water boat. And this is the entrance. You can scan your QR code here and purchase your tickets via WhatsApp. It's pretty simple and easy, and it's much cheaper than the private water taxi. So we're doing this to head back out of Venice. We took the water taxi because we wanted to experience just kind of like driving up into the city on like a private boat. And we have come to the end of this Venice vlog. Don't forget to check out my other Italy vlog, Rome, Florence, Tuscany. Also coming up next is the Lake Como vlog and a day in Switzerland. So glad to have you guys here. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions at all about this trip or any of the other parts in Italy. I'll be happy to answer. See you guys soon. Bye.